And that's when you break. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 scenes where actors couldn't keep a straight face in movies and TV.
And that's when you break!
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're taking a look at scenes that were so funny that the actors couldn't help but crack up, even if only fleetingly. Rather than being banished to a blooper reel though, these instances ultimately made the cut anyway. We're excluding any moments that aired live. Number 10, the most annoying sound in the world, Dumb and Dumber.
We usually don't pick up hitchhikers, but I'm gonna go with my instinct on this one. Saddle up, partner.
Some of the best bits from Dumb and Dumber were improvised, and this scene is perhaps the most ingenious. Stuck in the middle of Harry and Lloyd's juvenile antics, henchman Mental tries to keep his hostile tendencies under control. Just as tensions begin to dwindle down, Jim Carrey randomly segues into making the most annoying sound in the world.
Hey, wanna hear the most annoying sound in the world?
The camera cuts to Mental's frustrated expression so quickly that most viewers miss Jeff Daniels biting his lips while trying to restrain his laughter. Clearly, he had no idea what was coming. The film's trailer actually gives us a longer look at Daniels' reaction as he slowly collects himself and gets in on the screaming match. Number 9, Son of a Bitch, Supernatural.
You know the thing's cursed, don't you?
You'd be surprised what some people would pay for something like that.
Really?
It may be a supernatural drama, but this series sometimes catches the audience off guard with its sense of humor. Jared Padalecki was also caught off guard when co-star Jensen Ackles delivered this inspired bit of improv. Just as Sam and Dean's luck starts to turn around, they find that their winning tickets have been stolen by Bella. According to Padalecki, the scene was supposed to simply end with the brothers watching Bella drive off. Ackles decided to add a little something extra, however, unleashing an unscripted outburst.
Son of a bitch!
Although Padalecki does his best to hide his reaction, you can still spot him licking his lips and cracking a grin before turning his head away from the camera. Number 8, the gang loses it. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry! I forgot to put a timer! All right.
It's Always Sunny has a plethora of priceless outtakes, but sometimes you can catch the cast-breaking character in the final product. While there are too many instances to single out just one, creator and star Rob McElhenney is perhaps the most susceptible to cracking up.
I had him in the palm of my hand and then he was gone, you know what I mean? I mean, this guy would have been perfect for you.
Co-star Charlie Day has also struggled to maintain a straight face on occasion, although he usually tries to hide his giggles from the camera. We especially love this scene where the gang drowns their sorrows huffing a jug of gasoline. Don't try this at home. And Caitlin Olsen says the most childishly brilliant line imaginable.
Pass it.
Pass the gas.
None of the actors are able to keep it together, and we don't blame them. Number 7, Ice Cream, The Ringer.
Maybe I should just accept the fact that I can't win. Stop lying to Lynn and everybody else.
Arguably the funniest moment from this comedy was ad-libbed, which seems to be a recurring theme for this list. The film centers on a man who pretends to be mentally challenged in order to compete in the Special Olympics, and eventually befriends his fellow contenders. After the guys stay out past their curfew, the person responsible for them cooks up an excuse about getting ice cream. Glenn blows their cover though, when he lets out this hilarious line.
You stopped off for ice cream. When the f did we get ice cream?
The delivery is also pitch perfect, as Glenn sounds genuinely confused and irritated over the lack of ice cream. It's so hysterical that star Johnny Knoxville visually breaks out in laughter before the camera cuts back to Katherine Heigl.
Did you get ice cream?
Number 6, I Hated the Colonel, So I Married an Axe Murderer. This black comedy isn't one of Mike Myers' more popular outings, but it does have a Scottish character who is basically a predecessor to Shrek and Fat Bastard.
Would you like some chicken? I've got more.
So whenever the film shifts focus to Stuart Mackenzie, played by Myers in a dual role, the results are always comedic gold. Stuart is a loudmouth conspiracy nut who believes Colonel Sanders was part of an all-powerful secret organization that controls the world. He also insists the Colonel sneaks an addictive chemical into his chicken.
Dad, how can you hate the Colonel?
Because he puts an addictive chemical in his chicken that makes you crave it fortnightly, smart arse!
As Stewart goes off on this insane tirade, actor Anthony LaPaglia does his best to sip his beer and nod along, but just can't hold back his ungovernable smirk.
Oh, I hated the Colonel with his wee beady eyes and that smug look on his face. Oh, you're gonna buy my chicken, oh!
Number 5. Hello, Clarice, the cable guy.
Let the games begin!
Jim Carrey strikes again on our countdown with yet another improvised scene. Weirdly enough, this moment also involves a chicken. At a medieval restaurant, the cable guy sits down to a meal with his new best friend Steven.
Can I have your skin? Sure.
Since Steven isn't going to eat his chicken skin, the cable guy seizes the opportunity to play with his food. Co-star Matthew Broderick is completely unprepared as Carrey drapes his face with the skin and reenacts a scene from The Silence of the Lambs.
Hello, Clarice. It's good to see you again.
As is the case with much of the film, the audience isn't sure whether to laugh or be disturbed. It obviously tickled Broderick's funny bone, however, as he can't conceal his grin. Number 4. Big Ass Forehead. Fast and Furious 6.
We building the car?
First car better be a Charger, Jack.
You mean Skyline?
The Fast and Furious movies might not have the most complex characters, but nobody can deny that the chemistry between the cast is nothing short of phenomenal. It's always a blast watching these actors work off of each other, particularly in this scene. At a barbecue, Roman makes a crack about the macho Hobbs requiring baby oil. Dwayne Johnson retaliates with an unscripted comeback about Roman's large forehead.
Hey, Mia, you better hide your baby oil. I'm just playing.
You better hide that big-ass forehead.
I was just joking.
Where Tyrese Gibson manages to stay in character, Chris Ludacris Bridges is unable to keep his drink down. We honestly never expected to see Ludacris do a spit take, but that's exactly why this moment is such a happy accident. Number 3. Leather Pants. Third Rock from the Sun.
Hello! Oh my god!
Having spent several seasons on SNL, Jane Curtin knows how to keep her cool under the funniest of circumstances. Even she couldn't stay composed in this priceless Third Rock from the Sun scene, though. To complete his gorgeous new look, Dick squeezes himself into a pair of leather pants. The squeaking of the trousers is already enough to push Curtin to the verge of giggling.
What was that?
But
When John Lithgow gets up and starts walking around, Curtin can no longer keep her snickers under wraps.
what did Lori say when you talked to her?
The moment proves so humorous that the camera cuts away as Curtin struggles to deliver her next line. Then, as Lithgow exits the room, she totally gives in to the hilarity. Number 2. Biggest Dickus. Monty Python's Life of Brian. Let's transition from Dick Solomon to an even bigger Dickus. In this scene from Life of Brian, the extras playing the guards were reportedly instructed not to laugh. Since they weren't aware how the scene was going to play out, a soldier started chortling upon hearing the name Biggest Dickus.
I have a very great friend in Rome called Biggest Dickus.
Michael Palin decided to roll with it, ordering the soldier to cease his laughter. Palin stretched the bit even further, approaching the other guards and practically daring them not to laugh.
Dickus. Dickus.
One guard actually needs to suck in his cheeks to prevent himself from busting a gut. Of course, even Palin is barely able to wrangle a smile stretching across his face.
What about you? Do you find it risible? When I say the name Dickus. Dickus.
Number 1. Super Cops, Beverly Hills Cop.
I did not know what was going on. I was watching the show having fun.
The success of this buddy cop comedy can largely be attributed to Eddie Murphy and his co-stars, who ad-libbed some of the film's funniest lines. Apparently, numerous takes were ruined because the cast and crew couldn't contain themselves. Murphy reportedly took his first sip of coffee ever before shooting this improvised scene. That would certainly explain why Axel Foley sounds so energized as he covers for detectives Rosewood and Taggart. Foley crafts a phony story that paints his fellow officers as super cops.
I don't know what you teach these fellows, but they're not just regular cops, okay? They're super cops.
Actor John Ashton begins to unravel after a while, pinching and lowering his face to keep his chuckles inside. Fortunately, he's able to control his emotions enough to scarcely get through the scene. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.